Hello, family. I hope you are doing well. Welcome to Your Marriage and Narcissism Season 3. And we're looking at the part 2 of the Season 3. So, the Season 3 is the Healing and Restoration series, which is overcoming narcissism in marriage. And here we are looking at restoring emotional health. You understand that when narcissism is allowed to ruin a marriage, one thing that happens is that you both become hardened. The victim, when he begins to wake up, when he begins to realize and recognize the patterns and really begin to know what they are faced with, especially by the time they've gone through the ultimate trauma and come out, they become really frozen and hardened. And it becomes very, very difficult to reconnect. At this point, the easy way is to go your separate ways. Usually, many couples choose that, to just go their separate ways, that this person that I'm married to, nothing can be done about it. But there is still a better way, and that is where you are able to work together to restore the marriage, when you both are able to take responsibility and restore the marriage. But the reason why people walk away is because this path is very, very hard. It's a lot of hard work, and both parties will have to learn to take responsibility for how they have ruined the marriage with their emotional injuries. Both parties will have to acknowledge that. Okay, so true healing will begin when the emotional wounds are acknowledged and surrendered to God. And it's one thing you have to understand is that narcissists are able to operate full scale the way they do because empaths allow them. Okay, most of the times, by the time you acknowledge that you've really been hurt by a narcissist, you have to take some responsibility that you have played a role, because most of the time narcissists are able to operate when the empath creates an environment for them. Who is an empath? The empath is the person who feels for people so much. It's a very good thing to have empathy. Empathy is needed for safe emotional relationships, like in marriage, okay? But what allows the narcissist to thrive is that this kind of empath is not just a healthy empath. The empath that you may be, or that most empaths are, that allows narcissists to operate, it's an unhealthy empathy. It's an empathy that also stems from early stage emotional injury, where you are growing up in a home where you are shouted at, you abused. You always have to be sensitive. You have to read the environment and have the right word to say at every given time. You have to be the one that tries to make the peace at all the times. You have to be the one that always sacrifices so that things will equalize, okay, so that things will go well in the home. You had a father or a mother who was quite off. You had brothers and sisters who were quite emotional and they would shout, they would do things. And so you always had to find a nice way of neutralizing situations and making things good. And that also is a form of emotional sickness, just like narcissism is on the other side. So you see, narcissism is on the extreme end of the spectrum, and extreme empathy is also on the extreme end on the other side. And when these two meet, they always attract each other. Opposites attract. So the narcissist will always be looking for a broken empath. That is the person who lacks self-worth, who feels that they will only be loved if they forgive more. They will only be loved if they overextend themselves. So you see that the reason why you've reached this stage, that you were always forgiving. You were not holding your narcissist accountable right from the beginning. When they started operating small, when they started pushing the boundaries, you didn't push them back. Your boundaries were too loose. You allowed them to move them all around. You kept overlooking. You only kept complaining. You only kept telling you were not happy. But you didn't put firm boundaries. You didn't let the narcissist face responsibility. You didn't allow them to take responsibility. You did not let them see proper consequences for their actions. You kept crying. You kept saying you were hurt. You kept saying you were bitter. You kept arguing. You kept showing frustration. You kept threatening, but you never actually did anything. So all these years, if I'm telling you the truth, this is how you have been. And you have ruined your own emotions by being too forgiving, by being too kind, by being too merciful. Okay? And you hide behind Christianity, and you are making it look like, as for you are the good Christian, the one that is able to forgive. You are the one that has long suffering. You are the one that is patient. But whilst you are extending your patience over and over and over, this person is taking advantage over and over and over. Even God expects accountability from people. Even God has boundaries and principles. He, the Almighty, whom nothing can bring down, has boundaries to put. Heaven has boundaries. Okay, so if you want to have a good life and a good home and a good marriage, this is the time to start putting in the boundary. But you have to acknowledge that you have also been irresponsible by allowing the narcissist free room to operate over and over. You ask yourself, how many times have you forgiven your narcissist? How many times have you covered your narcissist? When they were telling you, don't let anybody know, once they were rather taking you out and disgracing you out there, how many times did you cover them? How many times did you pretend that they were very good people to people when you knew what they were doing to you in secret? How many times did you stand out there to tell everybody, my husband or my wife is the greatest person, when you knew they were evil at home? So take responsibility as well. Okay, so what happens here, okay, at this stage, is that you both have to take responsibility. You both have to realize that you are both emotionally wounded, and you have allowed things to go on in a way that it shouldn't. It will come, number one, by acknowledging the problem. Okay, and this would only start if your narcissist is able to acknowledge that they have narcissistic tendencies, or they are narcissists, whatever level they are on the spectrum, that they really have narcissistic tendencies. I put in 12 signs, 12 of the major signs. You have to go through with them in the notes. Okay, you have to go through with them each one of these things and tell them things they do that match that thing, that make you believe that they are narcissists. If they insist that they are not, then you both have to agree to go to a psychologist, a psychiatrist, get a professional, let them take them through the test and confirm where they are, so that you know what you are dealing with. If they refuse to do any of this, you are on your own. You have to now begin to advise yourself and see what works best for you. If you are going to stay in the marriage with walls proper built, that's up to you. If you are going to walk out, that's up to you. If you feel unsafe, if you feel your life is in danger and you have to walk out, that is also up to you. But then you know that you don't have a partner, you don't have somebody to work with on this. You are on your own. But once they acknowledge that, listen, I have a problem, I acknowledge that I do these things, and I believe that I have created enough mess in this marriage, and I'm ready to make amends, then you have something to work with. So at this point, you both look for, how did it start? I've already given you the clue. For both of you, it started at the early stages of your life. For the narcissist, they were abused, denied certain things, and they vowed to themselves unconsciously that never will I allow anybody to have total control over my life. I will always be the one in control. And because of the bitterness and unforgiveness of the pain they went through, they always try to, in seeking to have total control, they hurt and punish other people and literally revenge what they went through on other people without knowing. So they have to acknowledge that they have this problem, and then ask God for mercy, ask God for healing, ask God for restoration. You also have to acknowledge your problem. You also think that your self-worth is if you just allow people to abuse you. You also have to ask God for mercy. You also trace yours to that same early stage and overcome it. You are worthy of love, even if you don't allow people to use you, if you don't overstretch yourself, if you put boundaries, you are still worthy of love. So now you both acknowledge your fault. You come before God, ask for mercy, ask for his healing. Allow yourself to weep over the pains, go over the pains that you've both experienced. Let that narcissist remember right from childhood, whatever they can remember, bring it out, talk about it, pray about it, weep over it, ask God to heal the pain, take away the bitterness. This is deliverance on its own. Okay, so you go through this, allow yourself to go through the feeling, then release the bitterness, ask God to heal your heart. Every bitterness, every unforgiveness, every pain, release it. Yes, talk about the things that have happened, the infidelities or whatever, talk about them, but honestly, and release the pain. Let it go. And now ask God to comfort you. Tell him you are ready to receive his comfort. Ask him to comfort you. And now promise each other that from here, you are going to start from the place of healthy expression. I'll no longer argue with you. I'll no longer challenge you. I will affirm and accept your opinions, your truth, whatever you are going through. I will receive you. I'll not judge judge you. I will not throw it aside. I'll receive you. Together we will listen to each other. We will now have healthy empathy towards each other, and together we'll begin to build. If you are ready to do this, then you are ready to have a marriage. God bless you. I'll come your way again tomorrow. Bye-bye.